In this video, I'm walking you through 5 kitchen essentials that prove their worth over and over and over again in my kitchen, and I think they will in yours as well. Whether you're a seasoned cook or you're new to the kitchen, these items are going to make your life easier, make your cooking faster, and even make the process more enjoyable. These items are in no particular order. All of these are essential to me. Some of these items I picked up at the start of my cooking journey. Some of them I've just picked up recently, and I'm like, where have you been all of my life? If you're new here, I'm Aosa, ambitious home cook and food lover. The past 4 years, I've really been trying to hone in on this cooking thing, and I've picked up a couple of tips and tricks along the way, which is why I'm here to share the knowledge. So I've gathered the items in front of me. They're in no particular order. I'm just going to walk you through each and every one of them, why I think they're useful, what they're good for. So make sure you stick around to the end because each and every one of them belongs in the same place of where have you been all of my life. Starting off, we have this silicone spatula. This is actually one of the first items that I got when I started my cooking journey. This is specifically a heat-proof silicone spatula, and so this means that you can do high heat cooking with it and it's not going to melt. You can see a little wear and tear on it, but there is no melting like you would have if you use maybe a different plastic spoon. You can see on the handle there is a little bit of melting maybe if I placed it somewhere else, but it's not beaten up too bad. The only thing that I will say about this is I've had it for 4 years now, so it is starting to hold in some like aromas a little bit, but I don't mind getting another one and using one for savory cooking and using one for sweets and desserts. Silicone spatulas are so useful because not only are they heat proof, the way that they are shaped allows you to scrape every single corner, every nook and cranny of your pots and your sauces whenever you're cooking. They're such a versatile tool. In the event that this isn't cutting the job and I need something to be a little bit more precise when I'm scraping down the sides of jars, I actually have a mini one as well. And so I'm categorizing all of these together because they're both silicone spatulas, and the mini ones are better for things like scraping down the sides of jars. If you have like a smaller plate or something that you're trying to be more precise with, that's when the mini one comes in, but both of them are great. I purchased my silicone spatula from a restaurant supply store. This isn't going to be like the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life, but if you go to a restaurant supply store, you know that these items are made for efficiency. That's what we're doing in the kitchen. We're not playing around here. Okay, maybe we are, but still. And so I picked up a little one just walking through TJ Maxx or Ross or something. I was specifically looking for a silicone pastry brush, but it came in a pack with these and I ended up falling in love with these. These are so useful. The only thing that I will say is I am looking for a replacement one of these. I find that the top does come off these, and that's not ideal for washing. And then like if they end up collecting items in there, that would be kind of gross. I haven't had that issue yet, but I am looking for something made more similarly to this. And in this case, if I do replace this one, I'll probably look for one that's silicone the whole way down as well. Silicone spatula is different from your other spatulas because it's not metal, so you can use it in pretty much any type of cooking vessel. It's not wood, so these are easier to clean and maintain in my opinion. And because of the bendiness of the silicone, it's so good for the scraping the nooks and crannies like I keep talking about. So think mixing batter, scraping out peanut butter from a jar, scraping out condiments from a jar, making sure that you get your money's worth of every single item in your kitchen. So next up we have kitchen tongs, and these are basically just an extension of your hands, allow you to handle things that are high heat with a little bit of removal from you and still allows you to be precise with picking up and turning. I have just found these to be so useful. I have an air fryer at home that's basically shaped like a mini oven. And so this allows me to reach in and like turn and toss in a way that's not going to have heat on my hands. A good pair would have a firm grip. They'll have like a locking mechanism so that they're not just splayed out in your drawers and they're taking up too much space. And it will also have heat resistance. As you can see, there's some silicone on the side. So this allows me to hold tongs versus if they were all metal, it would be harder for me to hold this over high heat because the heat would transfer into the metal and then it would start hurting. So look for something that would be comfortable for you to use. Again, I probably picked this up in like TJ Maxx or Marshalls, and it came in a pack with multiple different sizes actually. I tend to reach for the smaller ones, but the bigger ones are also good if you do some grilling or if you do something that has you reaching out further back. So I think the option of having the 2 sizes is great. And again, these don't have to be very expensive. I picked this up at TJ Maxx or Marshalls. I love using these when I'm reaching into my air fryer to turn things. If I'm cooking a steak on the stove, sometimes I'll use it to flip it over. If I'm tossing ingredients, these come in handy. They're just very, very versatile. Speaking of precise, we have the kitchen thermometer. I have probably mentioned this in so many of my videos, but that's just because I love it so much. I love taking the guesswork out of cooking, and I was using it for myself anyways, but especially now that I'm cooking for people more and more often, I'm not trying to get anyone sick. So I like to stick this in there. Nobody gets pink chicken. We're all well fed. A kitchen thermometer is really a non-negotiable for really precise cooking with meats. Yes, they have different tricks and tips that you can use about how you press your thumb and the firmness means whatever. Just use a kitchen thermometer, stick it in, and then it'll tell you whether your steak is medium rare, whether it's well done. It'll allow you to know that you've cooked it to the exact temperature that you like. Take the guesswork out. On the same vein of continuing to take the guesswork out, this is actually the newest item to my kitchen essentials, and I don't know why it took me so long to get it. Did you know that most ovens are not the temperature that you set it to? They're usually off by 10 to 50 degrees. And I knew this for a while, and yet I didn't get one. So I eventually decided to invest in one, and these are only like $6.99, so investment is a strong word, but still. When I stuck it in my oven one time while making a roast and I saw that my oven was like 50 degrees lower than what it said it was, it made so much sense because sometimes you'll stick something in the oven that's supposed to brown and it's taking forever. Well, your oven is probably not at the right temperature. So using an oven thermometer allows you to just place it at the front of your oven, and then you can monitor the progress from here because this will be more accurate than your oven thermometer. A precise oven temperature is really non-negotiable because even just a few degrees can really ruin a whole meal, or it can extend cooking times. It can make things cook faster. It can make things cook slower. For the sake of precision, for the sake of saving yourself stress, for the sake of stopping the whole where did I go wrong, just get a kitchen thermometer. It's a good idea to get a high quality one. I wouldn't look for the cheapest option that you have available to you. So this is about 40 bucks. The ThermoWorks is actually one of the more inexpensive but still good ones on the market. This is recommended by pretty much everyone. And so this is about $40, and I think this was $6.99. So you can still get a high quality one without breaking the bank, but I would specifically look for a high quality one, and I'll link the ones that I have myself down below. An oven thermometer will ensure precision and just make sure that you're cooking everything at the right temperature every time. And last but not least, we have the kitchen wire racks. I have two here for you to show you guys the way that I was struggling before I finally decided to invest in a higher quality, better one. This has like a heavier weight to it and still lightweight, but you can tell that it's sturdy. This served its purpose for a while, and honestly, I dragged out trying to get a new one, but you really do want a sturdy one. It makes more sense. So this broke somehow in the middle. I have no idea. And so when I would stick something on it, sometimes it would sag in the middle and not allow me to use it for the purpose of the sheet rack, which is introducing air circulation. A sheet rack is an essential item because a lot of cooking depends on air circulation. This will allow things to dry out, and sometimes when you're looking for a really great sear or you're looking for something to crisp up, air circulation is what you need. So I find these to be handy for so many things. These are not just for baking cookies, but they can be for baking cookies. So if you did bake your cookies, sometimes they'll tell you to let them cool on a sheet rack, and so this allows air circulation. But I also use this for resting steaks and allowing that to drip free. If I fried something and I wanted it to drip freely, I could also use this to hold it. This is absolutely essential when you're doing something like dry brining because it will allow the whole surface or area to get some air, and if any juices are being released from the item that you're brining, then it will move through these holes in here, which will allow them to not sink back into the protein or sink back into the item. They're also really great if you fried something and you need to drain them. These are just essential. Trust me, guys, I used this cheaper one for a really long time. I held on to it for a while, and when I replaced it with a better one, night and day. The difference was night and day. So the sheet rack is lightweight, it's multifunctional, it's good for home cooks, home bakers, really anyone. This is an essential item to have in your kitchen. Trust me, whenever you get one, especially a good one, you'll wonder where this has been all of your cooking journey. These items are some of my 5 kitchen essentials. They are practical, easy to use, and best of all, they don't break the bank. If you're ready to upgrade your cooking game, go ahead and introduce some of them to your kitchen and see how you like them.